Lot of energy as we welcome you to Miller Park tonight. It's the New York Mets and your Milwaukee Brewers in the first of a big-time three-game weekend series. And if it looks as good on paper, then you'll see a doozy of a pitching matchup between lefty Johan Santana and Yovani Gallardo. The numbers say this is an even-up matchup. As we take a look at a walk-off walk yesterday for the Brewers. Don't see those too often, but that's how Milwaukee wins. The momentum they build as they have won 3 of 4 thanks to Ricky Weeks. Remarkably, only the second home series win, the first since opening week. And the crew has won 3 of 4. The bullpen has been sensational. Over the last 18 innings, a 1.50 earned run average for that bullpen, and it's led by some youngsters out there. We've got one right here in Jerry Augustine. I'm Craig Kashan. Welcome back to the broadcast here as we get you set for the Mets and the Brewers. 5 guys coming out of the bullpen doing a nice job. Estrada, Broddick, Coffey, Villanueva, and Axford. The veterans do their part. We expect that from them, but how about the new faces? Estrada, Broddick, and Axford. Together, they have pitched 12 times since being called up in a week.
Well, there's no question. Every time these young men go in a ball game, they have done a great job. They go in, they have great composure. That's what's so big about these guys. They go in tight ball games, showing great composure and doing a great job. One of the reasons the Brewers are having the success they are.
And they hope to keep it up tonight against the Mets. And that bullpen, well, we'll see if they're needed or not. It is a night of rest, perhaps for 2 of the best in the business as they score off. Bill and Brian return with Yo and Johan as the Mets get set to visit your Milwaukee Brewers.
National holiday, and it's great to spend some time with you with our national pastime. Yovani Gallardo on the mound tonight for the Brew Crew. You see his numbers in his 4th season against Johan Santana. A battle of yos tonight. The best pitching matchup in all of big league baseball right here at Miller Park. And hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us. Hope you have a safe and an enjoyable Memorial Day weekend. And, Rock, we've got a great pitching matchup to get us started with Santana against Gallardo. They matched up last year, and it was a memorable one.
Yeah, Johan Santana, one of the best in the business since 04. He ranks up amongst league leaders, if not first. Very close, just about every pitching category. This guy has won 2 Cy Youngs, both in the American League, 3 ERA titles. Last did it back in 08 with the New York Mets. And Yvonne Gallardo, in his last 7 starts, he has been outstanding, able to pound the strike zone. The curveball's been very good. He's 2-0 in the month of May with a 3.00 earned run average, and that included giving up 4 runs in his last start. He's been great, too.
Well, let's hope the names live up to the billing. Yo against yo. Santana, Gallardo tonight at Miller Park. Stay with us. Lineups in the first pitch coming up next.
New York, and it's looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of excitement going on, and it's hopefully it'll be a good match. I'm going to go out there and give my team a chance to win.
Those are the words from Giovanni Gallardo as he leads the Brewers onto the field just moments ago here at Miller Park. Game 1 of this 3-game series, Game 4 of this homestand. Let's give you the Mets starting lineup that'll match up against Gallardo. It is brought to you by Subway. Jose Reyes leads off, then Alex Cora, followed by Jason Bay. Middle of the order is Ike Davis, David Wright, and Angel Pagan. And then it's Rod Barajas, Jeff Francoeur, and Johan Santana. Subway lineup turned in by Jerry Manuel. And we are just about set for the game's first pitch. The numbers on Gallardo coming into play tonight.
Yeah, his last 8 starts have been very good. He's really only had one bad start this year. That came against the St. Louis Cardinals. right here at Miller Park. 2 career starts against the Mets, both coming last year. He gave up only 1 run in 2 starts in 13 innings.
First pitch of the ball game. Jose Reyes swings away, fouls it away, and away we go tonight. Reyes back in the starting lineup, back to his old self in that Mets leadoff spot. Reyes batting .249 with a home run and 17 driven in. But Jerry Manuel has noticed marked improvement with his injured hamstring that knocked him out most of last year. Reyes has 12 hits in his last 5 games.
Everything really going right for the Mets right now. The pitching's been good. The defense has been good all year. And now they're starting to score runs.
Well, if you have not heard, as you see Jeff Nelson calling the balls and strikes here tonight. Jeff Kellogg is the crew chief of this 4-man big league crew. The Mets are trying to set a little franchise history. Hope it doesn't happen tonight against the Brew Crew, but they have 3 consecutive shutouts. They shut out the Phillies in a 3-game series. That is second in their franchise. They did it 4 consecutive games back in 1969, a franchise record, and they have a pretty good hurler on the mound tonight to go for that franchise record in Johan Santana. Well, when you throw a shutout in the big leagues, you've done something. When you throw 3 in a row against the Philadelphia Phillies, the reigning National League champions, you've really done something.
Yeah, that's one of the best offenses in all of baseball, and their pitching, as we talked about, particularly their starters, have been very good lately.
Check that defense behind Gallardo tonight. It's brought to you by Blaine's with Braun, Gomez, and Hart in the outfield. Gomez, a former Met. Casey McGee, Alcides Escobar, Ricky Weeks and Prince Fielder, and a battery of George Kataris and Giovanni Gallardo. 2-2 the count on Reyes. And another foul ball, so he is hanging tough to get this game started. Jerry Manuel has seen his club win 5 straight games, all against winning teams, top teams, the Yankees and the Phillies. Took a series from the Yankees in interleague play as Reyes sends that one deep to right. Hart playing deep. They'll run it down. So a long battle to start this game and 1 away. Well, you want to hear what Jerry Manuel thinks of Giovanni Gallardo? Here's what he had to say before the game tonight.
What we have to do is have good at-bats. We just have to put together a number of good at-bats and hopefully put some people in motion, that type of thing, and try to get some easy runs early. As we haven't hit too many balls out of the park.
Well, they run a lot, and one of the top base stealing teams in all of baseball, 48 steals, second only to the San Diego Padres. So be alive with the stolen base in this series.
One gone for Alex Cora. And a little bouncer, Fielder ranging over, and that ball ends up in right field. Well, some miscommunication there between Fielder and Weeks. Ricky was there to make the play. Fielder ranging off his position at first, and that's going to end up as a base hit.
And one of those tweener plays for the first baseman. You're told to grab anything you think you can reach, and Prince going after it. The problem was Ricky stopped and then had to start up again. Second baseman just has to keep going unless he sees the first baseman camped under it or ready to catch the ground ball.
Well, that falls under the category of a base hit, but an out that should have been recorded. And the Brewers have had their issues defensively here lately. It was a costly game filled with errors yesterday against the Astros. The Brewers were able to overcome, however. Winning in dramatic fashion yesterday. Ricky Weeks drew the bases loaded walk. A little anticlimactic, but a win is a win.
On a 3-2 pitch. 3-2, 2 outs, the base on balls, and everybody goes home happy, except for, of course, the visitors.
Yeah, John Axford picked up his first career Major League win yesterday. Jason Bay takes strike 1. There's Axford. So now has a big league save and a big league win on his register.
Well, he's been throwing the ball well. Boy, every time he goes out there, mid to upper 90s with the fastball, and has been showing a pretty good slider.
0-2 on Jason Bay. Now, Bay's been good. You heard Jerry Manuel say they've struggled in the home run hitting category. Bay has just 3 home runs. And with 92 at-bats between his first and his second home run. But Bay has driven in 22. He has a .297 batting average. And the way the Mets have pitched lately, they haven't needed much offense.
They're not going to get many home runs, not playing in that new ballpark, Citi Field. A big ballpark that even the big home run hitters say is tough to hit them out, particularly in night games.
This offense is led by Bay and David Wright. And a newcomer to the scene in the National League, Ike Davis, who hits between them. There's Davis. Hit New York with a splash. And he has earned his way into that cleanup spot for Jerry Manuel.
Yeah, that's unusual when you have a young player come up during the season and put him in that number 4 hole. And he's doing a pretty good job, swinging the bat well, driving in runs.
Right to Gallardo to first, and it's a double play. What a play by Gallardo. Self-preservation turns into 2 outs. And the first inning comes to an end for Giovanni. Great play to get us started. And now the opening series of the year, and Maka's lineup is brought to you by Subway. A lot of familiar names in there with Ricky Weeks, Carlos Gomez, and Prince Fielder at the top. Brian Braun is in the cleanup spot again tonight. Casey McGee bats 5th. He has been red hot his last 18 games. Hart hits after McGee, and then you've got Escobar, Catares, and Gallardo rounding it out. And that lineup to face one of the best in the business, Johan Santana.
Man, he's in innings eater. Each of his last 4 starts, he's pitched at least 7 innings and has put together a nice string. But just like Giovanni, he's got a lot of no decisions to show for it.
Santana's last start against the Yankees went 7 2/3 and a 6-4 Mets win. All 4 of his wins have come at home this year. He's winless on the road, and his road ERA is a little over a run higher than his numbers at home. And that certainly, as you mentioned in the last inning, Citi Field is a pitcher's park through and through.
Well, the ERA is high because of 1 start at Philadelphia. He pitched 3 2/3, give up 10 runs. That'll beat up an earned run average. Other than that, he's been very good.
The Mets have gotten tremendous starting pitching here lately. Not just the 3 shutouts, as Weeks chases that changeup, and down he goes on strikes. How about a scouting report tonight on Santana that comes from hitting coach Dale Swain?
You know, he's still got a great changeup. His velocity might be down a little bit from what it has been in the past, but you know, the guy can still pitch. He's throwing, you know, he's using his slider quite a bit more to left-handers now than just using the changeup to him. So I think that's helping out too.
With you, yeah, he has made some adjustments. He used to throw in the mid-90s. Right now, he's getting it up there 91, 92 at tops. But the changeup's been tremendous, and the slider, he's throwing a lot more sliders this year than in the past, as Dale was saying.
Well, here's a former Met, Carlos Gomez, as Santana in his last 3. And those last 3 starts against the Marlins, the Braves on the road, and then the Yankees at home. Gomez pops it up. Foul territory for right. 2 gone in the inning. Defensively for New York, the only difference in their starting lineup, no Luis Castillo at second base. They've got Bay, Pagan, and Francoeur in the outfield. Wright and Reyes on the left side, with Alex Cora getting the start at second. Ike Davis at first, and Rod Barajas is back from a wrist injury. He catches Santana tonight.
Let me see how far on the third base side of the pitching rubber Johan Santana sets up. That gives him a better angle for his changeup. He throws a changeup that, you know, acts kind of like a screwball, if you will. It will go down and away to a right-handed batter. That's why he prefers to be on the left hand for the third base side of the rubber.
Now Prince Fielder, for the first time at home, batting in the 3-hole tonight. Last time Fielder and Braun were flip-flop in the order, with Fielder batting 3rd and Braun 4th, was against a left-handed starter, Paul Maholm. That was in Pittsburgh last Thursday. So another lefty on the mound, and Fielder hits in front of Braun here tonight.
It's been nice for Prince. Hadn't had to face too many left-handers lately. 2 left-handers against Santana. You know, Prince and George Kataris.
Fielder comes in with 7 home runs. He's driven in 19. I think the Brewers encouraged to win yesterday, with Fielder and Braun going a combined 0 for 9 as Fielder takes a big hack, and it's 3-2. Fielder did walk yesterday.
Yeah, threw the fastball right by Prince. He can get the fastball by you because you're looking for the off-speed pitch, the changeup, the slider, and throws an awful lot of strikes.
Fielder able to check his swing, and that is a first-inning walk.
Oh, the 18th walk issued by Johan Santana to go along with 50 strikeouts. Fastball down in the zone. Prince able to hold up.
And so Santana fell behind 3-0 and walks Fielder. And now it's Ryan Braun. .322 batting average to start the day. Braun has 8 home runs, 32 driven in. Had a home run to start this homestand against Houston on Tuesday. Ryan Braun against Johan Santana. How about these numbers? 7 hits, 13 at-bats. That is a .538 batting average.
Yeah, Ryan, Prince Fielder, and Corey Hart have had a lot of success against Santana. Very rare to have 3 guys in any one lineup that had that kind of success against Santana. He's that good.
Braun into right field. It's got some carry to it. Francoeur, a long run, and he's got it for the out. So the inning is over. Fielder is stranded at first, and we're off and running at Miller Park tonight.
see David Wright at the plate during this inning, and we'll also see two of the premier third basemen in the National League this series in David Wright and Casey McGee. And even though David Wright may get most of the accolades playing in New York City and a lot of media attention, it's been Casey McGee who has outproduced David Wright since becoming a full-time big leaguer. I did have a chance to catch up with David before today's game to see what has impressed him the most about Casey McGee, and he said the fact that he can drive in runs with 2 outs. And he said that's not an easy thing to do, but Casey makes it look easy because he's been able to do it so consistently.
And one of the reasons why he's able to do that is because he goes to right field so well. I mean, David Wright, another guy that goes to the opposite field extremely well. But Casey's got him beaten just about every offensive category. David Wright coming in at 254, Casey over 300. And he's got David Wright in home runs and RBIs if we're keeping a tab on it.
Always. Ike Davis leading off this second inning for the Mets. David Wright hits next, right in the 5-hole. Davis has emerged as the cleanup hitter in New York. And the chance of I Like Ike raining all over Citi Field in Davis's rookie year. Big swing and a miss. Chased one out of the strike zone.
Well, aggressive young hitter. You know, most left-handers like the ball down in the strike zone. You'll got that one right at the letters. Out of Edina, Minnesota. Midwesterner.
Big, tall first baseman. And another big hack. Might have chased one out of the strike zone as well. Davis is gone, one away. And with David Wright coming up, here are his thoughts on facing Yovani Gallardo.
He doesn't get the credit that he deserves on a national level. You know, but he's got tremendous stuff. You know, just watching film of him, he's got an electric fastball, you know, a great curveball. When you have, you know, 2 or 3 plus pitches that you can get left-handed and right-handed hitters out with, you know, that makes for a tough night offensively.
Yeah, a lot of these New York Mets have a lot of respect for Gallardo because he's only given up 1 run in 13 innings of work and 2 starts against the Mets. So, yeah, I guess a lot of these Mets hitters think a lot of them. And David Wright has yet to get a base hit off of Yovani.
Wright is 0 for 5, 4 strikeouts in his career against Gallardo. Well, Wright comes in batting .254. He's hit some home runs this year, even in Citi Field. He has 8 home runs this season, 33 driven in. And that one is off the end of the bat to right. Hart settles under it for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for Gallardo. And here is Angel Pagan. This will be a 3-game series. We want to invite you to the ballpark. Tickets available for the remainder of this series. Tomorrow is game 2. And the Brewers are going to send to the mound Manny Parra. He'll make a start tomorrow against Fernando Nieve. Sunday is the finale of this series. It's Randy Wolf against the knuckleballer, R.A. Dickey. So log on to Brewers.com or call the ticket office for tickets to the weekend series.
It's going to be interesting watching R.A. Dickey out on the mound, the knuckleballer.
He's coming off a shutout performance against the Phillies as well. Three knuckleballers now in the big leagues as Pagan fouls it back. One of them is on the disabled list, Charlie Hager with the Dodgers. And you have the longtime knuckleballer Tim Wakefield in Boston. He's back in their starting rotation. And now R.A. Dickey with the Mets. Angel Pagan for New York. He's been a good hitter for Jerry Manuel this year. .296 batting average. Has 3 home runs. He's driven in 20. And the 1-2. It's a big curveball from Gallardo. Well, the Mets stars were struggling to begin the year. The complementary players, guys like Alex Cora, Ike Davis, Angel Pagan were swinging the bats well. helping this club along. Now the Stars have started to pick it up again as Pagan gets sawed off. Escobar will squeeze it for out number 3, and the side retired in order for Gallardo. Against Johan Santana. A lot of comparisons between McGee and David Wright. Now, if you go through the first 170 games of their career and you back David Wright down, the numbers very similar. 25 homers, 300 batting average for McGee, and 112 runs batted in. David Wright has been an all-star, and right now in his 7th season in the big leagues. That's a pretty good path to follow for Casey McGee. David Wright, a 4-time All-Star on the right. Wright has played in nearly 900 games at this point of his career, while Casey McGee is just getting started. This was the time last year, right around the end of May, where he started to play every day, and as he continued to get his hits, he ultimately became the everyday third baseman. And that is a fair ball. That's going to go to the corner. Jason Bay will run it down. McGee into second base. He'll settle for a double. A leadoff double for McGee here in the 2nd inning.
Well, able to wade back. Not sure it was a changeup or a slider, but Casey out in front just a little bit. You always have an opportunity on the off-speed pitches when you're thinking the opposite field. That was a changeup. It stayed in the middle part of the plate, and Casey, although he's out in front on his front foot, watch him keep the hands back. Gives him enough power to rip it down the line for a leadoff double. Well, he's been something else. Casey McGee. So consistent at the plate. Making contact, doesn't strike out much, and been amazing to watch him.
Corey Hart trying to advance the runner.
And with everything he's done this year, I think his biggest improvement has come defensively. He's been playing very well at third base.
Had postseason knee surgery last year. That freed him up defensively. That was one of his stated goals coming into the season. You know, he didn't feel like the defense he played last year was indicative of the kind of player he is. He truly does play on both sides of the field.
Well, he couldn't move around. He just was hobbled by that knee. You could tell.
Well, these are the opportunities the Brewers must take advantage of against Santana. Typically, runs are hard to come by against Johan Santana. And the idea here is to advance McGee to third base somehow, some way.
And as good as Johan Santana is all the time, he's particularly tough with men on base. Really bears down.
No balls, 2 strikes, and Hardy is down on strikes. Well, that's what Bill's talking about. Santana saves his ace stuff.
That tremendous change-up. You can see that pitch just dies as it gets to home plate. And it's just not... Johan Santana's been getting it done. Just about every one of their starters has been very good. 5-0 record and a .47 earned run average. Of course, 3 shutouts are going to go a long way in helping that earned run average. But still in all, they've been pretty good.
So 1 gone, and McGee's still at second for Alcides Escobar. We talked about Santana in the clutch. Opponents are batting just .167 against Santana with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, that's what you call bearing down.
It's got to be a thrill for Alcides Escobar here. Growing up in Venezuela, Johan Santana, one of the players he looked up to coming up. Santana came through that famed Venezuelan baseball academy that the Astros put together, led by Andres Reina. I think it's a little harsh to say the Astros gave up on him, but because of the visa situation with baseball, you only have a certain amount of visas. They basically left him off the roster. A certain amount of roster spots. The Twins Rule 5'd him from the Houston Astros. Maybe the greatest Rule 5 draft pick in the history of the game.
Hard to say they gave up on him, but they gave up on him.
But they gave up on him.
Whatever way you want to say it. And the Minnesota Twins back in 2000, very happy to get him. It's been amazing. 2 Cy Youngs, both coming in the American League with Minnesota. 3 ERA titles. One of them back in 08 with the Mets.
Well, Santana now 31 years of age in his 3rd year with New York. The 1-2, Escobar cues it foul. 23-year-old Escobar.
Escobar thinking, how slow is he going to throw that changeup? Every time Santana throws it to him, he takes a little bit more off of it.
The numbers for Santana became an everyday starting pitcher, a regular starter for Ron Gardenhire with the Twins in '04. And since '04, he has been the best in the business. Escobar hanging tough. Well, Escobar says he is over that stage of his career where he is in awe of opponents in his rookie year this year. But you have to know that there's something a little special for him against Santana.
Now you hope that he just forgets about it while he's up there at the plate. You know, it's exciting to know that Santana is going to make a start. It's got to be a big deal for him, but got to put it out of your mind when you're in that batter's box.
Here's the 1-2, and Escobar lines one foul. Escobar had a great day at the plate yesterday in that 4-3 win for Milwaukee. Escobar just spraying it all over the field. Had 3 hits, he walked once, and he scored twice.
Yeah, bottom half of the Brewers order coming up big. Man, good to see that.
Beautiful night for baseball here in Milwaukee. We hope you'll make plans to be with us this weekend as we celebrate Memorial Day and we honor all of our veterans and all of our servicemen and women on active duty. 2-2. Popped him up. Alex Cora will make the call, and that's the second out. Time now for our Radio Shack. What do you know? The New York Mets are coming off 3 straight shutouts of the Phillies. And did you know the last time that happened was July of 2004? And even more impressive fashion as the Minnesota Twins shut out the Royals in 3 straight games behind complete game shutouts. by Brad Radke, Johan Santana, and Kyle Loesch. So not just shutouts, complete game shutouts. Incidentally, that complete game by Santana, the first complete game of his career.
Yeah, Kyle Loesch just had surgery today on a forearm, so he's out for the year.
Kyle Loesch now with the Cardinals. Yeah, a big blow to St. Louis. They won earlier today in Chicago against the Cubs.
A pretty good job of pitching by Johan Santana. I guess you get used to hearing that because he does that a lot. Steady diet of change-ups, and then he busted him with a fastball inside, and Escobar jammed himself.
Well, Kataris works himself in a hitter's count. He's been impressive with his strike zone discipline, George Kataris. Now that he's getting a chance to play every day.
Very patient at the plate. You make a mistake middle in on him, and he can hit it out of here. He's been doing a pretty good job behind home plate as well.
Kataris drew a key walk yesterday in the 10th inning and chases that changeup. Greg Zahn on the disabled list with a torn labrum in the right shoulder.
It just takes a lot off of it. He chokes it back in his hand. Everybody knows how to throw a changeup, but not too many throw one like Santana.
2-2. Missed with a fastball. It'll be interesting to see how much Kataris catches here. Now that Zahn is out, he is the frontline catcher, while Jonathan Lucroy, the rookie, will be in there once, maybe twice a week, according to his manager. Changeup missed. How about that at bat from Kataris?
That didn't miss by much. Neither one of the last two pitches missed by much. That was a fastball to get it to 3 balls, and look at that. How about the discipline to take that pitch? You either have to have a real good eye or real lucky, one of the two, or a little bit of both. And ball 4.
And here's a very good hitting pitcher in Giovanni Gallardo. Pitchers at the plate have been in the headlines a little more than Ken Maka would want. They were forced to use Randy Wolf yesterday with the bases loaded and 1 out. Gallardo has also been called on as a pinch hitter.
Yeah, Randy going up there with 1 out and the bases loaded in the 10th inning, and I would imagine when the day started he came to the ballpark, didn't figure that was going to happen. Somewhat of a pressure situation.
Well, after the ball game last night, the Brewers did make a transaction. Jody Garrett went on the DL. Adam Stern promoted from Nashville. So that gives Ken Maka a position player who is on the roster that can actually play. Jody Garrett, they were hoping to bring him along, but a heel injury, and he's on the disabled list. So this at least gives Maka a little flexibility with his roster at the end of games.
Yeah, 3rd time already Adam Stern has been called up.
Gallardo sends one to left off the end of the bat, and Jason Bay will run it down. So a leadoff double. Stranded at second. The Brewers lead 2, no score. market of Fox Sports Wisconsin. And by Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. Time now for the Kevin Woodstain's legendary performance. On this date in 2000, the Diamondbacks' team record 11-game home winning streak is halted by the Brew Crew. Marquise Grissom, an RBI single in the 11th inning, and that was the difference in a 4-3 loss to the Brewers. Take that, Arizona.
Is that Charlie Hayes?
Charlie Hayes. You remember?
I think it was.
Do you remember that game?
I don't remember the game, but I remember Charlie.
That was a big moment for the Brewers, 2000, snapping that winning streak. That was the year before the Diamondbacks would go on to win the World Series. Gallardo back on the mound for the third.
That was Charlie Hayes. Scoring the run.
Oh, yeah.
Handy dandy media guide, Mike Vasallo and his crew do a nice job with that. Helped me out with that one.
The video proof wasn't enough for you?
Oh, it did say Charlie Hayes?
Didn't say it, but his image was there. Looked like Charlie Hayes.
I know. I just wanted to make sure. I thought I missed a graphic or something. I'm sitting here looking it up like an idiot.
Well, this here is Rod Barajas, Rock. He is the Mets catcher. No need to go to the media guide for that one.
I just want to make sure it was Charlie Hayes. Marquise Grissom, Charlie Hayes.
Little flare, and it's going to fall for a base hit. Barajas with a single to right, the second hit. All right, let's take a look.
At number 14, that was my first clue. Okay, I recognized Charlie. I wanted to make sure, but watch what happens after he scores. He turns around and says Hayes on the back of his jersey. I just wanted to make sure, though.
Those were two more indicators that was Charlie Hayes.
Lyle Mouton there at home plate.
Is it Lyle?
Want me to look that up, too?
Gotta check that.
I'm gonna.
Bouncer up the middle, and it's off the glove of Weeks. And Barajas is on his way to third base. A slow roller that found a hole, and all of a sudden the Mets in business in this third inning. Francoeur with a single.
Nothing really hit all that hard, but finding a hole off the end of the bat for Barajas. This one, sneaks right back through the middle, just out of the reach. Looked like Ricky got a piece of it, and I think that's what allowed Barajas to get to third base. I'm told it's James Mouton. Who's Lyle? I know Lyle Mouton.
Lyle, the kindly Viking, of course. Santana is up there to bunt. Santana, normally a good hitting pitcher. This year, it's been a little different story. He is 2 for 19.
You could just say James. You don't have to, pass me a note.
You sounded so convinced.
I was. One of those days.
There's a bunt and a good one. McGee barehands it. And that is not in time. McGee took a chance. He looked the runner back, and Santana safe at first.
Well, you can't blame Casey McGee for trying to make sure where the runner at third base was going to be. A good butt by Johan Santana. Once Casey McGee spun all the way around, it was going to be tough to get anybody. Actually spun around the wrong way, making the throw a little bit more difficult. And Santana able to beat it at first base. It's got to be a base hit.
It sounded like somebody yelled out. Take a listen here.
That was actually Razor Shines, the first base coach, urging Santana to get down to first base, keep running.
After the fact. Now the bases are loaded here. That'll be an infield hit for Santana. And Gallardo in trouble in the third. The Mets have him loaded for the top of the order. Nobody out. And a bouncer to Prince. Coming to the plate for one. No return throw. A smart move by Kataris with the speedy Reyes. And the Brewers get the first out at home plate.
Now, finally, the luck changed for Giovanni Gallardo. Certainly deserves a better fate. The Mets really haven't been hitting the ball all that hard in this inning. CNI base hit, one off the end of the bat. This time an easy out at home plate, but no way you double up Reyes at first. I don't think it happened. You throw that ball, you throw it away, you hit Reyes with it, and the run's going to score.
Now one gone for Alex Cora. Cora does not run well. He is an ideal double play candidate if you can get him to hit it on the ground. Gallardo looking to get out of this inning. Bases loaded, nobody out. Now one out. And a strike from Giovanni. Francoeur, Santana, and Reyes now on the bases. Cora, an excellent contact hitter. He doesn't strike out much.
And another guy that's tough to double up, hitting from the left side of the plate, and runs pretty well.
Ball with a strike. And it's 2-1 on Cora.
Good changeup that time by Giovanni Gallardo. That's a pitch that he's been trying to find lately. He's threw a few more of them in Minnesota than he has in the past, and hopefully he's going to be able to find that. It's been a good pitch throughout his career. Hasn't used it much this year.
And a bouncer got a chance here. Weeks to second. The turn by Escobar in time and a double play. How about Gallardo getting out of it? Bases loaded, nobody out. The double play comes into play. And the Mets come up empty. And enter to win a VIP All-Star experience. Compliments of Scott's. The beautiful green grass here at Miller Park. Brewers getting out of a mess last inning, and Willie Randolph talking about the bunt by Santana with McGee and George Gutaris. Willie Randolph, the former Mets manager, Jerry Manuel was his bench coach. Willie Randolph and Rick Peterson ran the show in New York. I want to send our best to Willie. You know, his father is ill. He was trying to leave Milwaukee tonight to go be with his father, but we understand that had some flight issues. So he actually, because he couldn't get out of Milwaukee, he returned to the ballpark here tonight. But I know he's bench coaching this game with a heavy heart with his father currently ill. So we wish him the best.
I hope he's going to be able to get back home and see Dad sometime this weekend.
Ricky Weeks pops it up. This is playable for Ike Davis. And 1 out for Santana in the third.
Voting is now open for the 2010 All-Star Game in Anaheim. Help send your favorite Brewers to this year's game by voting up to 25 times at Brewers.com. Vote early and vote often. Vote today at Brewers.com. No, we got some additional information here on the Mouton brothers. Actually, there was a James, which was the guy on the video. It said J. You know, my eyesight's not what it used to be. I didn't see the J. It looked like an L to me.
He was the next hitter.
Right.
Bringing in Charlie Hayes.
But in that same year, 2000, Lyle Mouton was actually on the board. Now, I'm trying to figure out if they were here together. I think they were.
And how are you going to go about finding that out?
I have to ask Mike Vassallo.
Good luck with that. It's a good try, though. It's an honest mistake. The J gave it away, though, right?
Like I said, I didn't see the J. Yeah, but yes, the J did give it away. And see, I didn't see the J. It looked like a small L.
But you're convinced that's Charlie Hayes. I believe that was Buck Showalter in the background.
Okay.
And meanwhile, Gallardo got out of a bases-loaded jam.
Yeah, I had that information in the middle of that inning, but I didn't think it was a good time to bring it up.
Another excellent choice on your part. Well, the two guys who were involved in the trade, Twins and the Mets, Carlos Gomez and Johan Santana. Gomez was the key piece in that trade. Santana gets him to pop it up. David Wright makes a catch. A lot of pop-ups in this game already. Now, FoxSportsWisconsin.com is your home for all the exclusive news and information on your Milwaukee Brewers. You can log on for daily updates, exclusive blogs, complete schedules, and more. FoxSportsWisconsin.com. Local teams, local sports, local connections dedicated to the hometown fan. And our buddy Bob Brainerd with his entries at FoxSportsWisconsin.com. 2 outs. Here is Fielder. Fielder, one of 2 walks allowed by Santana tonight. He only hit a Casey McGee double to start the second. Now, Rock mentioned the numbers against Santana individually. Guys like Corey Hart and Ryan Braun. I think most impressive, though, Prince Fielder's numbers against Santana. Hitting at a .385 clip, and that is a shot back up the middle. So Fielder is aboard with a base hit and a 2-out single for Prince.
Yeah, off-speed pitch that Prince was able to wade back on and almost take the hat off of Johan Santana. And shot it right back through the middle. Reyes shaded up the middle on him. On the shift, Johan Santana goes down, and a 2-out single for Prince. Prince, the only Brewer today that has a home run off of Santana. He doesn't give up many. He's given up 6 this year.
So 2 gone for Ryan Braun. Braun back in that cleanup spot tonight. Last time up, Braun was at the plate with Fielder at first. Prince had drawn a 2-out walk, and he popped up to right. When Santana is right, you'll see a lot of outs in the air. A lot of hitters out in front of that changeup. And typically pop-ups against Santana.
Yeah, when you're out in front of that changeup, you know the bat's going to drop. There has not yet been a ground ball out by the Brewers.
6 outs in the air to go along with the 2 strikeouts. Now Braun and Santana representing the National League last year at the All-Star game in St. Louis. Brian Braun, again the leading vote getter among National League outfielders at the first release of voting. Back-to-back years Braun has started in the outfield for the NL. Santana's All-Star bid last year was his first as a National Leaguer. And Braun pops it up. Barajas is back and right down the screen. He makes a catch. Inning over, and Brewers strand a man. Against Santana, and both pitching well. Gallardo was in a bases loaded, nobody out jam, and he got a double play. Alex Cora bounced into a 4-6-3 double play, and Giovanni got out of it. And the second double play in this game for the Brewers. First one was a Jason Bay line drive. Gallardo stabbed and then made a peg to first. Cora's been involved in both of them. So here we go to the fourth, no score. Jason Bay leads off. Spent time last year in Boston. He and George Kataris were teammates with the Red Sox last year. Kataris had great things to say about Bay as far as a teammate and a fellow Canadian. Bay is from British Columbia on the West Coast, while Kataris from the Toronto area.
Yeah, the Mets organization has been very impressed with the work ethic of Jason Bay, the way he hustles, running out base hits or ground balls, hustling in the outfield.
He's 0 for 2 as he pops up to right. All right, Rock, our AT&T trivia tonight. Who are the 4 players in the history of the game who have won a Cy Young Award in both the American and National Leagues? Four players have done it. The two-time Cy Young Award winner Johan Santana pitching for the Mets tonight. Here's Ike Davis with one away. Ricky Weeks and 2 outs.
Hey, fans, for just $25 get 2 Terrace Reserve Brewer tickets to one of 5 select Brewers games on Fair Friday games, and 2 State Fair admission tickets good any day through the Fair's 11-day run. That's August 5th through the 15th. For details, call 414-902-4000 or go to brewers.com/State Fair today.
Two gone for David Wright. Taking his time here to get to the plate. All for courtesy of the pitcher. 2 quick outs. David Wright a little a little extended time getting to the box. Rock, as a catcher, you see a guy do that. You ever take the chance that he's not swinging at the first pitch? I mean, does it lead to that particular at bat?
Well, you would think, the first 2 batters out fairly quickly, a very low pitch count. You want to make the pitcher work a little bit, but the problem you have against a guy like Giovanni, or you have Johan Santana out there, a lot of times that first strike, as we've talked about a lot, is your best one to hit. So you may very well let your base hit go by if you're too patient.
These are all elements to the National League game that you don't see in the American League. The protection of the starting pitcher, knowing the situation, how fast the inning is going, wanting to get his starting pitcher a little extra breather after 2 quick outs.
Now you saw Santana on the third base side of the pitcher's rubber. Giovanni Gallardo way on the first base side. How about that fastball right down the middle?
And something that David Wright has done a lot of this year, swing and miss. 62 strikeouts for David Wright, 3rd most in the league at this point. 3-2 pitch, and down he goes. Gallardo punches him out. 3 up, 3 down for Giovanni Gallardo in his 2nd strikeout. And we head to the bottom of the 4th. Coaches making visits to 26 local middle schools in Milwaukee, Ozaki, Racine, Washington, and Waukesha counties in support of the Team Score program. And Ryan Braun and Larry Heisel, I was there as well at Roosevelt Middle School for the Arts. Great program the Brewers are involved in. It's the 5th year in existence, and over 500 kids participated today at the middle school level, and all the players went out. And that is the program that the Brewers hang their hat on as far as the youth and involvement in the school programs around the city. The SCORE program. It was great to see him. Ryan Braun did a great job today. He and Larry Heisel. Larry Heisel always does a great job.
He's an amazing man. He really is.
A great story to tell. And tip our hat to Ryan Braun and all the Brewers players and coaches who have made their way out into the community today. Casey McGee leads off here against Santana. McGee doubled his last time up. It was a leadoff double, but the Brewers could not bring him in.
I've got some more information on our Mouton saga. They did appear with the Brewers in 2000. They actually were in the same lineup together.
So it could have happened.
James and Lyle.
You weren't as far off as you thought. As McGee strikes out. Our Carsoup.com email the booth question from Mark in Whitewater. Did James and Lyle Mouton play together? No, sorry. Who in your mind is the most dominant pitcher in the National League?
Roy Halladay. How about Ubaldo Jimenez? I think I'd give it to Ubaldo Jimenez at this point in the season. Of course, it's early yet. A .88 earned run average and a 9-1 record. Pretty impressive.
And a no-hitter. Halladay just got roughed up his last start against Boston. Santana, you put him in the company. Twice a winner of the Cy Young Award. And, of course, Lincecum has won back-to-back Cy Youngs in the National League. But Jimenez might be on his way. Just remember, Rock, you're never as good as you think you are, and you're never as bad as you think you are. Your eyesight should not have any bearing on your suffering over here. You had no idea that James Mouton was going to be in the headlines tonight, did you?
And what was the Mouton you were talking about with the Minnesota Vikings?
No. It's a cartoon. Lyle, the kindly Viking.
See, I actually wasn't as far off as you thought I was. I knew I was close.
You're a tremendous slouch. Hitters count for Hart. In there for a strike. Hart had the key at bat in the second. He struck out with McGee at second. McGee had led off the inning with a double. And against Santana, you do all you can to get that runner to third. That's the idea anyway. Doing it against Johan Santana is the challenge.
And you know that changeup is a very difficult pitch to try and take to the opposite field. It really is. As slow as it is, you're always out in front. And tough for a right-hander to hit that ground ball to the right side, or hit it to the right side anywhere, in the air or on the ground.
Well, you're seeing the dilemma with Johan Santana. Behind the 90-mile-an-hour fastball, ahead of the 80-mile-an-hour changeup. That's why he is so good.
And the only hitting speed pitch that he throws is usually down in the dirt, that slider.
That one's pretty well hit to right center. That run down by Pagan for the second out.
Hey, traveling this season, take the Brewers with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Brewers game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Brewers.com to order and to get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere.
Cardinals have already beat the Cubs today behind Chris Carpenter. Starting today, the Reds led the Central Division by a game over St. Louis. Brewers open the day 8.5 games back. Escobar drops a bunt right. Oh, man, what a play that was. David Wright, the Gold Glover at third. That was something special. As Escobar tries to bunt his way on. A spectacular play by Wright. And yet again, Gallardo and Johan Santana. No score as we head to the 5th. And the Kegheads are out with their 40th anniversary logo. Those are nice. Those are brand new editions of the Kegheads. So here's Gallardo back on the mound, ready to face Angel Pagan of the Mets. Pagan, Barajas, and Francoeur. Gallardo has a good fastball tonight. Good command of his fastball. Good velocity on the fastball as well.
I remember seeing one at about 93. He's been sticking around 91 or 92, but he's been able to put it where he wants. Good pitch on the inside corner, jamming Pagan. Good pitch.
As high as 94. And that curveball at 77. You're always watching the amount of changeups for Gallardo. What have you seen tonight?
A few, not many. You know, Yo will throw them until it hurts him in one particular at bat. He'll throw a curveball, get it hit a couple of times, and then normally what he does is put it in his back pocket. You don't see it much. He's thrown a couple of good ones tonight.
Got him. Zips a fastball on the outside corner.
How about that location for Giovanni Gallardo? That's about as good as he's thrown that fastball this year. Third strikeout. The first one looking right on the outside corner. Set up by that fastball in a couple of pitches before.
Well, one gone for Barajas. Look out up there. Barajas leads the Mets in home runs. He has 10. You don't typically think of catchers leading their teams in home runs, but Barajas is in that spot. Surprising power this year from Barajas.
Well, thinking back in Mets history, you think about catchers leading them in home runs. Remember Mike Piazza.
That one's in the air to center field. Long run, Gomez, and he'll run it down. Great speed from Gomez. And the second out of the inning. Yeah, home run power and Mets catching. As you see the Barajas out.
I'm not sure if there's anything I enjoy more than watching Carlos Gomez run. He's not one of those guys that drifts and tries to make a great basket catch or a diving catch. 110% all the way every time. He's an exciting guy to watch.
Flags it down. Two very fast center fielders in this series with Angel Pagan and Carlos Gomez. Similar players in a lot of ways. I was looking at the Mets catching history for home runs, Rock. They went a 7-year stretch where a catcher led their team in homers. You mentioned Piazza. He led the Mets in home runs for 5 years. 2 years prior to Piazza was Todd Hundley, who led the club in home runs, 96 and 97. And then
Gary
Piazza,
Carter.
98 through 02. Yep, Gary Carter's on that list.
Yeah, I remember Gary Carter with the Mets.
Kid Carter. How about this name? John Stearns. 1977 also led the Mets in home runs. But the Brewers have never had a catcher, not even Bill Schroeder, lead the team in home runs in a season.
No.
2-2 to Francoeur. And Gallardo pops him up. Fielder, an easy play at first. Side retired. Gallardo 3 up, 3 down with another strikeout. Presented by the Wisconsin Lottery and its family of instant scratch games. Odds are you'll like them. By Airtran. Go. There's nothing stopping you. And by GMC. We are professional grade. It's good.
And tonight's Tavern of the Game winner is Grandpa's Swampside in Endeavor, Wisconsin, if they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours. Grandpa's Swampside, I love that name. We'll get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a 2010 Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. I've been handed a note. I'm not sure if it's accurate or not. North of Portage is where Endeavor is. On Highway 51.
George Katar sends one to deep left field. And this ball is going to be caught. Boy, good play back there by Jason Bay. As Katar gave one a ride.
Well, good opposite field power by the Brewer catcher. Picked on a fastball, nearly hit one out of here to the opposite field. Hey, George has surprising power. He doesn't look like a guy that's going to hit some home runs, but I'll tell you, when he hits them, they stay ahead. I think Santana might have thought that was out of the ballpark.
One gone. Here is Gallardo. And Gallardo swings one to right for a base hit. Got to hurry to throw to first. And it's not in time. Yikes.
You know what? And you knew it right away. He knows how good of an arm Francoeur has out there in right. He hit that ball on the right, and he started to sprint to first base. And Ike Davis was waiting for it. And he just barely beat that throw from right field. Check this out. A one-hopper, Francoeur playing shallow and almost able to get Yo at first base. Could have gone either way. But Jeff Kellogg gives him the safe sign. Man.
Well, Francoeur has 5 outfield assists. Gallardo knew it right away.
Yeah.
I mean, the panic set in quickly. Because nobody wants to deal with a 9-3 putout. Believe me. That's the kind of thing that lingers for years.
You know, in fantasy camp, you're not allowed to do that.
Another reason why fantasy camp is a can't miss.
Guys don't run well. Base hit to the outfield, you can't throw them out. That Francoeur with a tremendous throwing arm in right.
Well, it's a base runner for the Brewers, a base hit by Gallardo. And here's Ricky Weeks back to the top of the order. Weeks is 0 for 2. Third Brewer hit, that Gallardo single. Weeks was the star yesterday. What a great day he had. 3 walks, 2 hits, on base 5 times, and he was credited with the game-winning RBI, bases loaded walk in the 10th.
Well, a lot of good hitters will tell you that the first sign of coming out of a stretch when you're not getting many hits is taking walks, swinging at strikes. See the ball, then hit ball. Very rarely works the other way around. Very rarely do you swing your way out of slumps.
Well, Weeks takes the 2-2, fills the count. It was a full count yesterday, and he took a slider. Weeks drew the walk. A win is a win, anticlimactic or not. A bases loaded walk, and the Brewers won the series against the Astros. First series win at home since the opening series of the year against Colorado. 3-2, and Weeks strikes out. Santana went with a fastball.
And his fastball out of the strike zone, up in his upstairs, up around the letters, and Ricky not able to lay off of it. Actually, just a little bit above the belt. Better pitch than initially thought. Well, you set your sights on that changeup and that slider, and he throws that 90-mile-an-hour fastball right by you. It appears to be a lot quicker than that.
All right, it's Gomez now. Gallardo's still at first. And Gomez off the end of the bat. A pop-up. Angel Pagan will make the catch. Santana is through 5 scoreless. No score in Milwaukee as we head to the 6th. And this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of James Mouton and the Brewers. Mets and Brewers this weekend, Memorial Day weekend here in Milwaukee. We invite you to the ballpark. Call for tickets, 414-902-4000, or you can log on to the web at brewers.com. I want to say hi to Tom Carter and all of our friends down in the ticket office. Good crowd today, and they are seeing a whale of a matchup between Gallardo and Santana. No score as we head to the 6th. Santana leads off for the Mets. Reached on a bunt single his last time up. That was back in the 3rd inning. Santana's bunt single loaded the bases with nobody out. A fielder's choice, cut down the lead runner at the plate, and then a double play off the bat of Alex Cora, and Gallardo got out of the mess. Little bouncer to Weeks, and one gone for Giovanni.
Yeah, Giovanni's done a nice job getting that leadoff hitter all night long, except for that 3rd inning, where the Mets loaded the base with nobody out. And the ball strike ratio very good for Gallardo today, almost 2-1. I think he's got his best fastball that we've seen in a while as far as location goes.
Well, Gallardo with 3 strikeouts has not walked a batter and has kept his pitch count in good shape up to the 6th inning. '24-year-old Gallardo, the unquestioned ace of this pitching staff. Against Santana, the Mets ace. Jose Reyes is 0 for 2. He rolled into that fielder's choice to get the first out with the bases loaded back in the 3rd inning. Reyes has 5 straight multi-hit games as the caller tonight. He's been a hot hitter.
And he has to be, because he never walks. That's one of the things that the Mets would like to see a little bit more of. The base on balls. He's got a .246 batting average and a .286 on base percentage. Not nearly what you'd like to see from a leadoff hitter.
Full count to Reyes. Well, Jared Manuel tried him in the 3-hole. Likes him best in the leadoff spot now that he has his legs back under him. He had a terrible hamstring injury last year. 3-2 pitch. And Reyes slices one left field line. That is fair, and that is trouble as Braun over to cut it off, and he'll hold Reyes to a double.
That is definitely a danger location for Jose Reyes. That fastball up, away, up and in, up down the middle. You get him out on fastballs down at the knees. On the 3-2 pitch, Gallardo didn't want to walk him and gain something to hit, and he sliced it down the left field line. Check it out. Just trying to put the bat on the baseball, slices it right down the left field line for a 1-out double. Anything up in the zone is a very dangerous spot to throw to Jose Reyes.
Well, you could just tell by his gait that he's having no issues with that hamstring any longer. It's almost a guaranteed run score on a base hit. On a straight chart, that is about as balanced as you could have it. Double to the opposite field for Reyes. And the Mets with a runner in scoring position for the first time since the third. Cora bounced into the inning-ending double play in that third inning with the bases loaded.
And keep an eye on Reyes. He will steal third base. Escobar doing a nice job trying to keep him close back there at shortstop.
And Reyes talking to Escobar. They could be talking about the pickoff, or they could be talking about a number of other topics.
Anything but.
1 ball, 1 strike on Cora. And a little flare into left. Braun will track it down. Out number 2 as Gallardo retires Alex Cora. And Reyes still at second base.
And still another fly ball out in this ball game. It's been nothing but strikeouts and fly ball outs for the most part for both pitchers.
Now sets the stage for Jason Bay. Gallardo does have a base open at first. He can be careful to Bay. Ike Davis, the rookie, is on deck. We'll see how he works him here.
Well, if I know Yovani Gallardo, he's going to go right after Jason Bay with some good fastballs away. That curveball. Doesn't want to put another man on and have to face a lefty.
Bay's a tough out. He has a good eye at the plate. A .294 hitter after his 0 for 2 tonight. A .380 on base percentage. In a game that 1 run could be all you need. Reyes at second, and Bay takes a strike. A fastball from Gallardo.
And a fastball that had plenty of the plate and up around the belt. And Jason Bay takes it.
Another one on the corner. Off-speed pitch for Gallardo to get him back in the count at 2-2.
That fastball on the outside part of the plate. Curveball, a little bit upstairs. That's been called all night by Jeff Nelson. He's been giving Gallardo that high curveball.
punches out Jason Bay.
Is throwing as well as he has all season long. Yo with 4 strikeouts. Santana matching him pitch for pitch. He's also got 4 strikeouts. And a big double play to end the 3rd inning. Mets loaded the bases with nobody out, and Yovani Gallardo able to keep the Mets off the board.
Well, what a ball game we have going here tonight at Miller Park, as advertised so far. Cousins subs game reset. 6 shutout for Gallardo. Santana with 5 shutout and 4 strikeouts. And here is Prince Fielder. Fielder has had 2 good at-bats against Santana. He walked in the 1st and he singled in the 3rd inning. Mets have out-hit the Brewers 5-3. Fielder bangs one foul past first.
Well, Yovani Gallardo's pitch count in very good shape. 79 pitches through 6 innings. That's outstanding. Santana through 5. He's at 77.
Pretty efficient innings for Gallardo here tonight. Here's the 1-1. Fielder hits one high in the air. No carry. Francoeur will settle under it. And Prince is retired.
Well, good job by Yovani Gallardo with first base open. It looked as though he might have been pitching around him. He got behind. He threw a 1-ball, no-strike curveball. And then he goes to business. There's the pitch that Jason Bay let go on 2-0. Curveball on the corner for strike 2. And not sure what Bay's looking for there. Maybe a curveball. Catches him looking on a fastball in. Good pitching by Yovani.
Well, his last 2 strikeouts have come on strike 3 fastballs. And called strike 3s to Pagan and Jason Bay. Here's Braun with 1 out. Well, you get a pitching matchup like this, Rock, and there's just more energy. It's an elevated awareness for both clubs.
It's just fun to watch. It's fun to sit up here in the broadcast booth, talk about the game, but just enjoy what these 2 guys are doing.
It's very similar to their matchup last year in April at Citi Field.
Everybody has fun but the hitters. Not much fun for them.
Plenty of offense going around. It's fun to see a pitcher's duel every now and then. And we've got one here tonight. Ryan Braun is 0 for 2. A couple of pop-ups on his card tonight. And he hits that one high in the air to center field. Pagan is back with room. Wrong part of the ballpark for Ryan Braun. 2 outs for Santana, another out in the air. Our AT&T trivia question tonight: the 4 players in MLB history to have won a Cy Young in both leagues. Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez, and Gaylord Perry. Santana's 2 Cy Youngs both came in the American League. Two gone for Casey McGee now. Well, Santana continues to crowd McGee. Casey doubled to left in the second, a leadoff double, and he stayed there.
And that's why he's crowding him. It was a changeup, down the middle of the plate, and Casey with the double.
Breaks his bat this time. Santana breezes through the 6th inning. Still no score. We're on our way to the 7th. The Mets are coming up. What's on tap? We're on Fox Sports Wisconsin all weekend and all week. The Mets tomorrow and Sunday, and then Monday it's a matinee for Memorial Day, and we'll be in Miami to take on the Marlins. Miller Lite, what's on tap? Gallardo back on the mound as we head to the 7th inning, and here come the Mets. Middle of their batting order coming up. Ike Davis leads off, then David Wright, then Angel Pagan. And on the first pitch, Davis pops it up. A lot of pop-up outs in this matchup here tonight, whether it's fastballs blown by hitters or changeups that hitters are out in front of.
They have 2 ground ball outs for the Mets. A ground ball by Ike Davis, and Johan Santana grounded to Ricky. Other than that, has been strikeout, of course. Don't forget about that double play in the 3rd, so 3 ground ball outs. Johan Santana doing the same.
Gallardo hoping to do to Santana what Santana did to him last year. Outlasted Gallardo. A 1-0 win at Citi Field in April. Here's David Wright.
Interesting thing about the ground ball outs for Gallardo, all to Ricky Weeks. Nothing to the left side, not yet.
Ball and a strike on Wright. David Wright is 0 for 2. Gallardo struck him out in the 4th. Came back from 3 balls and a strike. And that one's in there. 1-2 the count, and Wright barking a little bit at Jeff Nelson. can see Wright saying that ball's in. Two and two to Wright. A curveball missed for Gallardo. He hasn't needed many curveballs in spot like this. That is typically his out pitch with 2 strikes. But he's had such a good fastball tonight. He's relied heavily on it.
And here comes one, I imagine.
3-2 fastball, bounce to fielder. Gallardo will cover, and that's the second out. Well, we mentioned that showdown between the Yos last year, April 18th. We take you back. Gallardo went 6 innings, took a no decision. He struck out 7. Santana, however, went 7 innings and struck out 7. And the only run was delivered on that play right there. Villanueva had his glove knocked off. That was it. 1-0 Mets. Gallardo would come back a couple of starts later and go the distance against the Houston Astros. And that's the last complete game the Brewers have posted. Got to go all the way back to late April of last season.
Now, his pitch count is in a position right now where that is conceivably, something that he could do. Something about the New York Mets that brings the best out of Yovani Gallardo. 2 starts last year, 1 run in 13 innings. And he's been doing a whale of a job here tonight.
Pagan hits one to right, and there's Corey Hart. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for Gallardo. Hart will lead off when we come back.
The bottom of the 7th inning. Yovani Gallardo, though, nice pitch count at 86, getting a lot of pop-ups, easy outs as Corey Hart gets one deep to left for the first out of the inning, Jerry. But talk about what Yo's been able to do so far.
Well, the one thing we talked in our pregame was him, as Yovani staying away from that big pitch inning. He's done it so far tonight. And the one thing he's been able to do is been able to spot his fastball and use his breaking ball and changeup, which gets him a lot of fly balls.
Well, an absolute gem. We're really looking forward to the outcome of this game and also get inside both clubhouses for Brewers Live postgame set after the ball game, Brian.
All right, thanks a lot. Looking forward to Craig and Jerry on Brewers Live postgame after the game today. Escobar bats with 1 away. Escobar almost bunted for a hit his last time up. It took a great play, and I mean great play, from David Wright. Barehanded pickup, and he just clipped the speedy Escobar at first. Ken Maka asking Escobar to bunt more often. He'd like to see him try to bunt for hits. In the center field, Pagan broke in, eases back, and now he hauls it in for the second out. 2 up, 2 down for Santana. Tom in La Crosse wants to know in our Ho-Chunk Gaming text question, what is the hardest pitch to throw and locate over the plate?
That's got to be that big curveball, that one that Giovanni throws, that strikeout curveball. You know, it's the slowest of all of the pitches. You know, in the mid-70s, 78, 79 miles an hour. It's got the big break. Tough for an umpire to call for a called strike. No doubt that's the toughest pitch for most pitchers to throw over for a strike.
And you start to get the feeling that this game is going to probably come down to one mistake. And who will capitalize? Kataris almost sent one out of here his last time up. Jason Bay made a catch up against the wall in left field. Kataris walked his first time up. And that one is roasted to right. Will it stay fair? No, it hooks foul. Boy, Kataris like a bullet out of here.
Almost hit one out to left. Santana made a mistake inside with a fastball. And George not able to keep it fair. Just a little bit out in front. Had plenty of distance. Bingo. Just a little bit out in front and hooks foul.
And a 2-1 changeup misses from Santana. 3 balls and a strike on Kataris. 3 home runs this year in 57 at bats. In there for a strike. Kataris worked the count full in the second inning and drew the walk. Right off the end of the bat, foul. He's put up some really good at bats. If nothing else, he has Santana's attention.
Yep, he's a tough out. You know, he has been, a tough out since he's joined the Brewers. He had a nice spring training, and Ken Maka likes his approach up there. Works the count. He will draw some walks. He's got surprising power. Here's a stat that pops out at you. 20 walks coming into tonight's game, only 9 strikeouts for George Kataris. That's pretty good ratio.
Yeah, very good numbers. Has one here tonight. And that one is down the left field line. Bay is on the run. And he's got it for the out. Good running catch by Jason Bay. 1-2-3 inning for Santana.
And taking on the Brewers tomorrow. Coverage begins at 5:30 p.m. Going to want to head down to Miller Park early, though, and do some tailgating on a beautiful afternoon. Clear and comfortable. First pitch temperature 73 degrees.
Kate's right. That'll be ideal tailgating weather tomorrow here at Miller Park. For the 6:10 first pitch, we're on the air at 5:30 for Brewers Live. Second game of the series with the Mets. No score as we head to the 8th inning. Boy, this has been something tonight. Gallardo threw 7. He has 4 strikeouts, no walks at this point. He's given up 5 hits. There's Rod Barajas leading off. Barajas back in the lineup tonight. He missed the last couple of days with a wrist injury. And Rock, you can appreciate this. He injured his right wrist trying to block a pitch.
Yeah. And that's what's so amazing about what Joe Mauer does year after year. I mean, those things happen to catchers on a daily basis. You know, foul tips off the shoulder. You know, get nicked in the hand and the wrist. He continues to pound out the base hits. Not often a catcher can go through, you know, a day or two without something hitting him somewhere. And sometimes when they get right on the wrist, you know, right on that bone, I mean, those are the ones that will sting you. You know, if it's on your catching hand, you can get away with it a little bit, but if it's on your throwing hand, it really gives you a problem.
Barajas suffered that injury on Wednesday. X-rays came back negative. And a little bouncer that is going to squeeze through. That's a base hit.
0-2 curveball, and Barajas able to one-handed into left field. How about that swing?
Coming over from the Blue Jays from a year ago, and he has had a terrific start to this season with the Mets.
That's a good curveball right there. You just tip your hat if you're Giovanni Gallardo. One-handed and into left field.
It's a leadoff base runner for the Mets. Second time tonight they've had their lead man aboard, and on both occasions it has been Barajas. Jeff Francoeur for New York.
In a situation where your number 8 hitter really, you know, cannot drop down a bunt to bring Barajas in scoring position. Barajas doesn't run well at all. It's going to take either 2 hits or an extra base hit to score. You got the pitcher on deck.
Igarashi in the bullpen. And a bounce to the third. McGee got a chance to turn it here. Weeks the flick, and it's in time. Double play, the third double play of the game for Gallardo. Wipes out the lead base runner, and 2 gone here in the 8th.
Boy, a bullet right at Casey McGee. He bobbled it just for a second, but had plenty of time because it was hit so hard. And not even close at first base. Good turn by Ricky Weeks. Well, Yo's been getting his ground balls when he's needed the most. Those double plays.
He got a line drive in the first. He turned into 2. The big 4-6-3 double play in the 3rd inning with the bases loaded. And a 5-4-3 double play here. Now Santana bats with 2 gone and nobody aboard. That one is driven deep to right center field. That ball is well hit. Bounces up and out of here. And that's a ground rule double for Johan Santana.
It just goes to show you anybody with a bat in their hand in that batter's box can be dangerous. Well, you're fortunate that ball didn't carry out of the ballpark. Well, Santana getting a fastball up in the zone and right down the middle of the plate. And gave it a ride in the right center. So both pitchers with base hits here tonight. Gallardo with a base hit to right. Now Santana with a 2-out double. How big is that double play?
Santana came into this game with just 2 hits all year. Has 2 here tonight. His second double. And the Mets have the go-ahead run in scoring position now with Reyes at the plate. And Santana runs well.
That runs well, but has 0 lead. which could be a factor here. You got to stay down in the zone on Jose Reyes.
All three Brewers outfielders with good arms. Gomez the strongest arm in center, but both Hart and Braun throw it well. 2 outs. Count evens a ball and a strike. Brewers fortunate that Santana's not standing on third base right now.
A big factor in this at bat could very well be that lead of Santana or lack thereof.
And Gallardo puts a fastball by Reyes. It's 1-2. Santana will break with 2 outs on contact. And the Brewers relatively deep in the outfield at this point. Ready for the 1-2 to Reyes.
Well, you got to be in a position in the outfield to be able to catch a deep fly ball. But more importantly, I think, in the event of a base hit, you have to be shallow enough to be able to make a play on the man at second base.
Gallardo with 4 strikeouts. Trying to strand a runner at second. And the 2-2. And down he goes. Jimmy John's delivery of the game, a double play in the third. Weeks to Escobar, to Fielder, getting Gallardo out of a bases loaded mess. This was a great play from David Wright, robbing Escobar of a base hit. And then Frank Gore bouncing into a 5-4-3 double play just before the Santana double. And here we are, still scoreless. And the crowd, on their feet as Giovanni Gallardo will bat to lead off this 8th inning. And Wendy's at the plate. He has 1 hit in 2 at-bats, one of the 3 hits against Santana here tonight.
Well, his pitch count is in very good shape to head out there for the 9th inning, plus the fact that he's a right-handed bat. He swings it well. And most of the bench for the Brewers left-handed hitters. Why not send him out there again?
More pitchers at the plate for the Brewers. Gallardo pops it up. Francoeur makes a catch. That might have as much to do with what Gallardo's doing on the mound as it does
no doubt.
what's going on.
Yeah, Ken might want to send him out there for the 9th inning, no question. That's why you do send him out there. If he's not going to pitch in the ninth, then you have somebody go up there and hit. But it's not a bad option to send Giovanni out there to hit. He can swing it.
There's Randy Wolf yesterday. Gallardo here tonight. Now the top of the order. Well, the Brewers trying to scratch a run against Santana and give Gallardo a chance to go the distance here. Ricky Weeks is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts.
You get the sense this is going to end in a home run tonight.
Ricky Weeks bounces one to right. Another good play.
And you just get that sense that, you know, one mistake, one swing of the bat is going to end it. And if you're thinking along those lines, the Brewers certainly have the advantage in that regard.
That's a sense you want to have as long as the Brewers are batting. You want to do, chuck that sense.
Won't talk about it. Won't talk about it on top of the ninth.
Well timed.
Yeah, 10 in a row now for Santana.
The last hit was Gallardo's single back in the 5th. Only 3 hits in this game: McGee, Fielder, and Gallardo. As Gomez takes a big rip. Well, we're at the point of the game now where it is going to be a final at-bat win for someone here tonight. Santana 0-2 on Gomez. Yeah, Gomez takes with a high fastball. Carlos lays off. Ball and 2 strikes. The Mets will have their big hitters coming up in the 9th. Alex Cora, then Jason Bay and Ike Davis. If anybody gets on, David Wright. Santana is putting that change up right where he wants it, even here in the 8th inning. Two and 2 to Gomez. Carlos hanging tough.
And most of the outs, tonight, when you're looking at, hard hit baseballs tonight, a lot of the outs have been hit a lot harder than the base hits for both sides tonight. Neither pitcher has been giving up much. Not too many pitches to hit all night.
Brewers have had just one man in scoring position tonight. As Gomez takes a call, strike 3. Santana matching Gallardo pitch for pitch. 3 up, 3 down for Santana, and we head to the 9th in a scoreless ballgame. The story tonight, Gallardo and Santana both through 8 innings of shutout baseball. And some nifty defensive work as well from the Brewers. 3 double plays in this game for Milwaukee, including that bases loaded double play grounded into by Alex Cora that got Gallardo out of the 3rd. So here we go to the 9th. Alex Cora leads off. Gallardo's pitch count is at 101. What a pitching matchup here tonight. Living up to the billing.
I was just getting ready to say. You said it first, though.
He's a bouncer to Weeks. And 1 gone. Well, the Brewers have not had a complete game since April 24th of last year. That was Giovanni Gallardo's complete game. It was the very next start after the loss to Santana in New York. 106 pitches that day in Houston for Gallardo. And Giovanni struck out 7 in that game. Gave up 2 runs against the Astros that day. Now, if you're the New York Mets, you're on the verge of some other history as well. Remember, the Mets have thrown 3 consecutive shutouts. They shut out the Phillies in every game of that series. And a shutout win here tonight for the Mets would match a franchise record. Gotta go all the way back to the amazing Mets of 1969. Gary Gentry, Jerry Koosman, Tom Seaver, and again Gary Gentry with 4 consecutive shutout wins for New York.
Well, both pitchers have to go through the middle of each order in order to do it here in the 9th.
Johan Santana was involved in the last string of 3 consecutive shutouts. That was in 04 with the Minnesota Twins. Bay, a base hit. A 1-out single by Jason Bay. And the Mets have a base runner.
Left the curveball up in the strike zone, and Bay able to wait back and hit it back through the middle into center field. Good piece of hitting by Bay. Interesting that all the strikeouts for Giovanni Gallardo tonight have come on the fastball, and a lot of the fastballs have been inside. That curveball hung up right down the middle of the plate, and Bay hits a single into center.
So a single for Bay, and here comes rookie Ike Davis, who has been first ball swinging in his last 2 at-bats. Davis is 0 for 3 against Gallardo.
And because of that, he throws the curveball. Looked like he decided to swing before Giovanni even threw the baseball.
I'm hacking. Takes the thought process out of it.
Yeah, no guessing. Let's go.
Gallardo coming back with a fastball here. And that one is just inside. He's had pinpoint command with his heater today.
Still throwing hard at 93, that last pitch. We're really showing no signs of fatigue.
Axford is getting loose just in case. A couple of base runners reach, perhaps. No score, 9th inning, 1 out. Brewers looking for another double play.
I'd be stunned if Ken Maka took Giovanni out in this inning. Once he started it, you got to figure he's going to leave Yo out there to either get out of it or give up the runs himself.
We've seen 3 double plays tonight. Two balls and a strike on Davis. Close pitch. Nothing but goose eggs tonight with these two. Santana and Gallardo. And Giovanni hoping to keep it that way.
Doesn't want to give him the fastball for a strike. I guess why would you, right? He's committing so early and deciding to swing that, you know, not able to figure out if it's a strike or a ball with that curveball way out in front of it. Bounce one here.
24-year-old Gallardo against a 23-year-old Davis. 2-2. And he got him. Rings him up with a fastball.
Pinpoint control for Yovani Gallardo all night long. Amazing. Got to be his best start of the year.
6 strikeouts for Gallardo. And the last 3 have been called strike threes on fastballs. 2 outs. Here's David Wright. Fielder, Braun, and McGee due up in the bottom of the 9th for Milwaukee. Quick trip to the mound by Kataris. Keep an eye on Jason Bay in this situation. He has 7 steals this year. Has not been caught. Close pitch. Another fastball from Gallardo. By far his best fastball of the year here tonight. Not just in velocity, but in command as well.
Location. I mean, he's been throwing this velocity before, but not this pinpoint control in the corners.
2-1 to right. Big pitch. And he takes one outside. 3 balls and a strike.
Now the Brewer outfield very deep, trying to prevent the extra base hit. Try and cut off those gaps in the event of a gapper, a double. Maybe keep Jason Bay from scoring.
Hitters count for Wright. And a check on Bay. Well, Bay has not looked like he's wanted to run. He's had a very short lead at first. He's one of 5 Mets for Jerry Manuel to have 7 steals this year. They like to run. Not many opportunities tonight. Walked him. First walk of the game issued by Gallardo. And David Wright is aboard. The go-ahead run now in scoring position at second. And here comes Angel Pagan.
I would imagine that John Ackford is ready, but in no way you can take Gallardo out of this situation. It's his game right now. He's ready to come in.
Gallardo with 116 pitches.
But Yovani's not ready to leave.
Yovani threw 120 against Cincinnati 2 starts ago. 2 on for the Mets with 2 outs. Pagan is 0 for 3. He lined out his last time up. And the curveball missed.
And now the Brewer outfield in normal depth to try and throw out Jason Bay in the event of a base hit. Can't be too deep. Have to be in a position to be able to throw out a base runner. Bay with decent speed.
There was a strike. That's what he needed, a fastball on the outside corner. Middle of the order coming up for the Crew. You've got Fielder, Braun, and McGee in the bottom of the 9th. And Gallardo trying to get him to the plate in a scoreless game. Get blocked by Kataris. 2 balls and a strike.
Tried to change up that time. Hadn't thrown many of those. Hadn't thrown many lately anyway. Threw a couple early in the ball game.
Another good job back there from Kataris. And strike 2 on Angel Pagano. They come to their feet here at Miller Park.
Well, what do you give him, the curveball, or you throw the fastball in the outside corner? Fastball's been his strikeout pitch tonight.
Kataris wants to make sure here.
Yeah, when in doubt, go out there and have a chat. You don't want to leave anything to chance in this situation. You want to make sure you know what the pitch is going to be. Get together on the pitch and the location.
There's a great shot of Gallardo. The determination on his face. Takes that big breath. Go ahead run at second. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the ninth. For the ninth, with the big boys coming up, all 3 on this list. Powerball home run leaderboard for Milwaukee. And it's going to be Fielder, Braun, and McGee. 56 home runs for the year for the Brew Crew. And goal number 1 was to get Santana out of the game. Jerry Manuel has done just that. Santana is out. Gallardo got a standing ovation. Deservedly so. He struck out Pagan to end the inning. 7 strikeouts for Giovanni in 9 innings. Santana is out. And it's the lefty Pedro Feliciano in the game for New York. So neither starter gives up a run. The Brewers can win it here in the ninth. Fielder a bouncer into the shift and a nice easy hop for David Wright. 1 gone on 1 pitch from Feliciano. Well, the Brewers have more home runs against left-handed pitching than any other club in the National League. 18 home runs. And with that in mind, Jerry Manuel is going to make Feliciano a 1-pitch pitcher here today, I believe.
Yeah, he's a guy that ordinarily will burn up an entire inning. He's not just a left-handed specialist. He's a guy that can get right.
The Mets. Fielder grounding out on the first pitch he saw from Pedro Feliciano. And the new Mets hurler is Ryota Igarashi.
Well, good balance in that bullpen for Jerry Madden, who's got 3 left-handers, 1 already used, that Feliciano, and 4 right-handers, including Francisco Rodriguez, their talented closer.
Igarashi has been a closer as well in Japan. He pitched for the Tokyo Yakult Swallows. So he's been in hot spots before, and he's in one now. Ryan Braun at the plate in a scoreless game in the 9th. And Braun bangs one. Nice play. Reyes to his feet. Throw to first. Not in time. Braun beats it to the bag and an infield hit.
Yeah, that's what makes him so dangerous. Ryan Braun, a tremendous play by Jose Reyes. But he bounced the throw over to Ike Davis, who picked it, but Ryan Braun able to beat it at first base. So tremendous speed for the Brewers at first base. How about this play by Reyes? Gets up, he short hops the throw, but Ryan Braun able to beat it. So good hustle for Ryan down the line. And the Brewers have the winning run at first base.
Very few shortstops in the big leagues even get to this ball. Reyes one of the best, but Braun beat it down the line, and the winning run is at first. Here's Casey McGee.
This situation just screams a stolen base attempt by Ryan Braun, which is one of the reasons why Ken Maka likes having Braun hit behind Prince Fielder. Gives him more opportunities to run, and this is a perfect chance for a stolen base.
Braun is 10 for 10 in steals this year. As McGee takes one in the dirt.
Rod Barajas only 1 for 13 so far this year and throwing out base runners. That's 8%. Even more reason to take off.
Ed Cedar asking Jeff Kellogg for a balk there. Jeff Kellogg saying he stepped off.
And what was that? Well, if you step off before you make your move to first base, it's legal.
Igarashi against McGee. And Casey pops it up. Davis makes a catch McGee maybe a little over anxious in that spot, and 2 gone now.
Igarashi very quick to home plate. And that ball up and in on Casey, not able to get on top of it.
Igarashi just came back from the disabled list.
You see the way he catches that ball back in the hitting zone just a little bit. And that's why he popped it up.
So here's Corey Hart now with 2 outs. Gallardo 9 shutout innings. Santana 8 shutout innings.
Making it tough for Ryan to get a jump and get comfortable over at first base, holding the baseball. Quick pitch once in a while. And he's pretty quick to get rid of it to home plate. Tough to run on. Ryan's got a nice lead over there at first.
And it's 1-1 on Hart. Well, Igarashi just getting back to the Mets. Activated on the 23rd. He's been nursing a sore hamstring all year. Missed 30 games this year. Gave up 3 runs against the Yankees in a third of an inning. And his first game back. He's in a spot here. 2 outs. Potential winning run at first base. And Braun takes off and hits one high in the air to left. Back is Jason Bay. And he will let it go. Corey Hart has won the game. Consecutive games, the Brewers win in their final at-bat as Corey Hart bangs one out of here in the bottom of the 9th inning and delivers the Brewers' 20th win of the year. What a moment here at Miller Park. His first career walk-off home run, and Hart is Armenard's player of the game. It was a towering, majestic shot. Giovanni Gallardo picks up the win. He goes to 5-2. The first complete game since Gallardo tossed one way back in April of '09. A 2-0 win here tonight. Let's send it down to Telly Hughes with the man of the hour.
The man that just got a sunflower seed bath. Corey, you get up there, you put in that situation, you just want to make something happen. How do you bang it out the park with no doubt tonight?
I don't know. I feel he was up on all his fastballs. He threw me a good split pitch before. I thought he might come back with it, and he did. And I was able to get the bat on it that time.
Well, when you put in that situation, you said you just pretty much guessed right.
Yeah.
But just take us through the process in the at-bat, because once again, you're just trying to make something happen, and you could guess wrong, but tonight you were able to guess right.
Yeah, it's obviously, these kind of situations, just trying to get something you can do. Obviously, I think Prince was, I don't know who was on first, but one of those things you want to try to find something that you can either get on second or obviously get something where you can get things kind of rolling, and obviously it went out of the park, so I didn't have to do a whole lot.
Talk a little bit about Giovanni Gallardo tonight. Unbelievable, going the complete game and giving you guys the opportunity to take one swing to win the game.
Yeah, Yo's been awesome, and we haven't given him a whole lot of run support lately, and he was able to stick it out today, and we were able to come through in the end. But he's been great for us, and it's nice to get him a win.
Second game in a row, you guys win at your last at bat. You're not trying to get Brewers fans used to this, are you?
We hit such a tough row. We're not been able to come back, and it's nice to have these last couple of games, and hopefully it'll kind of start us forward and put us on a good track.
Congratulations, Corey.
Thanks.
All right, that's Corey Hart continuing his hot hitting, and for a preview of Brewers Live presented by Lincoln Mercury, let's send it up to Craig Kashawn.
Okay, Tilly, how about that? Corey Hart doing the job for the Brewers here tonight. Dramatic fashion, and the Brewers win it 2-0. A couple of walk-off wins at Miller Park, just what the doctor ordered here on